Yes, I'm Damiano Panattoni from Italy, movie player. Hey, Jason, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Damiano. How are you?
So, fine, fine. And you?
Good, I'm excellent.
Amazing. So, in the beginning, how did you balance the action with the need to be an everyman, a normal man?
Yeah, well, I wanted straight away, and I talked with Sam Hargraves, who was the director, of like all the, when Frank gets hit, it hurts, Frank's not the best fighter, he's not the slickest fighter, he's no martial arts or jiu-jitsu champion. He's an old school slugger who's just going to get up more times than he gets knocked down. And that was part of the way of finding that it was always to keep Frank decent, keep Frank real, keep Frank at the center. He's not ahead of the story. Just like if you stay with Frank, you're the audience and you're working out who is Sidney Schofield. You're trying to work out what's happened. You're with him when his best friend gets stabbed to death, and he's at the pace in this thing is unrelenting. And Frank at the middle he's always on the back foot. He's always just behind that 8 ball, so to speak, until he gets ahead of it, until he starts to catch up. And it was that way. It was that and the idea of a mixture between, say, Jimmy Stewart and Gene Hackman, some old school stand-up, men who are in probably deeper than they want, but they're decent men, and they love their family and they love their community.
Truth and lies are the core of the series and also are the center of our reality.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, that's, what great writing from Bokenkamp does. It's a mystery tour. It's a magical, you're trying to work out who is what and what is going on in this town. I mean, the town itself in Alaska is sorry, I got something in my throat. Is really, the mountains are unforgiving. The landscape is unforgiving. You know where you are out there in the animal wild world with people and agencies and criminals and everyone coming in. It's confusing as who is what and what do they really want? What is this threat coming to Frank's, community? What is this threat coming to his family? And that's what he's got to wade through. And through that, you start to realize that he's hiding things as well. And he's come home, for sanctuary and protection. And maybe he's brought problems with him.
In the end, can the series be defined as a Western?
A Western?
Yeah.
I certainly, it was certainly within the mind in small things. You see the horses, you see it, Alaska's got that within it. Absolutely. I love Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. There's an element of, some old school, you're able to tell great metaphor as well in Westerns, as well as have great action. And those were certain things I definitely looked at. I love the Clint Eastwood, if I can say it with a look, why say it, But I love that. I'm glad you picked up on that. You Italians love your spaghetti westerns. I know. I love those ones too.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Bye,
where are you in Milan or Roma?
Roma.
Roma. I love Roma.